Hey folks! Welcome back to Let's Play Jade Cocoon. I'm your host CPC Gamer, and I have a confession. I already visited the upcoming forest to get some levels and to try and take the edge off the final dungeon. And in here, I found a particular monster that looks super good. And I was going to use it to replace Trish. However, it would mean only replacing Trish. And I can't do that to a friend and someone who's been with me since the very start. So, screw it. We're going out with the same team we came in with. Crowley, Lynod, Nobody, and Trish. Also, look at this forest. Like, you thought this place couldn't get any better, but it totally did. Purple and green is a great combination. Or it's one that I like anyways. Was that guy refusing to fight me? Nice. Bebanza is also a pretty good name. It reminds me of a guy from Streets of Rage 2 or something like that. Can't place why. Now, I am really excited to be showing this off. Introducing Crowley's final form, probably. I really like how he's gone from a little wasp guy at the start of the game to essentially Baphomet. Alistair would be proud. And I think this is another reason I don't much want to replace my team this late in the game. It's been pretty cool to see how my guys have grown and changed throughout the game. Like, if I had been smart, I would have taken footage of them on the merging screen so I could do a montage at the end. But I'm not, and I didn't, so I won't. And speaking of character growth, here's Lynod. He's gone from a blue-brown dragon to a different blue-brown dragon, but one that still looks sinister and awesome. And I'm bringing him in to finish off the other dragon, so he can get some more experience and levels, because he's lacking a bit. With that said, we are on the Trial of Earth, so I think nobody's going to be our MVP for the foreseeable future. I don't know, it depends what the game decides to spawn at me at this point. I don't know what the game is likely to spawn, but I do know it's been pretty good for buffing the minions that need buffing in the run-up to the final boss, so we'll be okay. And we'll be doubly okay with this music. Take a listen. Like, I mentioned a couple of videos ago how I love boss versions of regular tunes. This is a great example. I know I'm biased, because it's a super memorable melody to me, but this is a great version of a great piece of music, and I love it. Oh, nice! Does this tune get a boss version too? That's pretty awesome. Anyway, I think this bit of the game incorporates 4 boss encounters. 1 for each member of the forest family, and 1 at the end where the sacred tree was. And, you know, I will sing the praises of this game's graphical design all day long, but that right there, that looked like a west exit, and they suck for not making it so. Anyways, it's you! How's it going? Oh. See, I was gonna do a forest is life, forest is love thing based on your comments, but I think I'm in trouble now. Don't even get a free pass for the whole Kickleberry thing? No? Oh. Wow. I really don't like the way your nose animates, man. That is unsettling. But never mind that, it's go time! And if my best guess is right, we're not going to be fighting 4 super huge minions. That's for the climax. We'll have to go through some weaker versions of this guy first. I think it's this forest's way of having an EXP farm to buff whoever's going to be fighting the final boss. Oh, and speaking of, here's Nobody. He has a wind attack with an accuracy modifier, always useful, and he's got a new look based on something found in this very forest. And you know something? I like it. Okay, yeah, this isn't anybody important. I'd expect the Earth boss to pack more of a kick than 60 HP per turn. And maybe he'd take more than 2 hits before going down like a sack of hammers. But the proof will be in how much EXP I get. Not bad. Not bad. Kinda bad that I now have 2 guys on the verge of leveling up without actually doing it, but Really, what can you do? Okay, seriously, guy, that nose. Somebody had to have animated that. Now, this game doesn't have physics, jiggle or otherwise, so somebody had to have sat down and animated the specific swinging and dangling of that guy's nose. Someone designed that, and someone animated it. And I think the only thing more distressing than the animation is how much time I've now spent talking about it. So, let's pick another topic and move right along. And this is just the distraction I need. Uglam is a dragonfly enemy, and it's the one that served as the colour basis for Nobody, and it was going to serve as the body basis for the Earth minion that was going to replace Trish. It has lower base stats than Trish, so it wouldn't be as strong as she is, but it has wings and not legs. And since more enemies from here will have break legs, and hardly any will have break wings, it would be a huge advantage by just giving her a solid shield. But the dragonfly does have a certain naive charm, but no muscle. Its overall stat drop wouldn't be worth the skill and vulnerability, and I mean, come on, it's Trish. Who don't love Trish? Mostly, I just like the look of the dragonfly monster. I mean, there's just something about it that tickles the bit in the back of my brain that goes, cool. And holy crap, Lynott is underleveled. I really need to do something about that. It's one of the problems with the game not giving you any good water minions to use as spare parts or EXP, nor anything to use for target practice. Although speaking of, let's go for this guy. Or maybe not, because he's strong against Lynott. He has a pretty good name though, Tragaron. Reminds me of this show I used to watch when I was younger. A show my parents used to watch too, actually. It's called The Herbs. And it was set in this little English herb garden, and everybody in the show was named after a herb. So you'd have Parsley the Friendly Lion, Witch Hazel, and Tarragon the Dragon. And I guess we're going to need to find something new for Lynott to fight. I suppose it makes sense we'll find a lot of Earth minions since this is the Trial by Earth. Now, this guy improves a minion's stats, but I don't know which stat it actually helps. I mean, it said that it strengthens will, so I'm guessing standard and magical defense? I don't know. Either way, Bod guts it. I hope he puts it to good use. And since it's entirely up to me, you know he will. Oh, hey guy! This is the one I was going to use as the basis for the new Earth minion. You can tell, because he's a dragonfly, like the first one I showed off, but this time it's green. Whoa! It has the same basic battle AI as the first guy, elemental change in the first round, then it batters you with special attacks. Wow. I'm glad I did a bit of leveling before I began recording this. It is totally helping what's going on. Unlike that attack, which is basically just giving me a free turn. I never bother with stuff like that when I'm playing Pokemon or what have you, because, as I say, just give the enemy a free turn to beat you up. Very little subtlety to my attacks, just a headlong charge. Worth it though. That was a pretty good stat bonus for a single level. Either way, we're on our way to see the second encounter with old Longnose. I hope the game doesn't hold it against me that I didn't give the mother the key item that she wanted. It's not my fault. Raise the flag that stopped me from doing it. I tried my best. And that was an unusually quiet run up here. Perhaps too quiet. If such a thing can truly be said to exist. Alright, I'm here for round 2. Although apparently the game isn't. Well, I'm not going to complain. Let's just assume there's no spawn here, and move on to the next spot. Oh. You guys hear that? It was like Star Trek noises in the background there. Weird. Ooh, hey guy, I'm going to fight ya. Excellent. Haha, you see what I did there? Well done. So, we've got two basic ideas for why the mother didn't show up in the house. The first is that she won't show up because we didn't give her the gift she wanted in the light version of the forest. So she's not triggered to hang up here. Hang on a second. Idea 2 about the mother's not showing up is that she's not meant to show up at all, and I got it wrong. Now this one is highly unlikely, because I've already been wrong once in this series, so legally, not allowed to do it again. It's a weird rule, I know, but it's there, and God help you if you don't follow it. It's like the one that says I have to sneak Rocky Horror dialogue into every series. Like, it's there, it's a means of adding pages to the CPC Gamer sticker activity book. Is anything up this way? Oh, I guess not. The door looks like it's sealed over again. So let's go and find the dad character. We had to help him as part of the plot, so hopefully there's going to be a minion there waiting for us. Oh, it's you! Excellent. I'm going to show up a fight with this guy. And of course his AI tracks you. Anyways, this is Spiral, the grown-up and, more importantly, catchable version of the Poacher's Goat Minion. And you can probably tell, I already caught one of these and I used it to boost Crowley. Like, he's got some good attacks, and he's pretty strong too. He also looks badass. I'm not overly concerned with catching him this time around. I'm not overly concerned with catching anything this time round, because I think my team's as finished as it needs to be for the final boss, save for getting a few levels. Man, I love that silly little hurricane kick. I think I'll absorb some more HP, see if we can undo some of his damage. Oh, and I can! I'm surprised he didn't hurt Lionard more than he did. I mean, I am not complaining one bit, but given how much raw damage Spiral can do, it's surprising. I think it's because Lionard is basically a tank. And it's less surprising to see how much EXP Bod got out of it, because he's 5 levels behind. Still, I should see if I can get that guy to respawn, or fight another one or something. I have more quick levels like that. Alright, got any for me, game? I guess not. But that's alright. The Poacher wasn't part of the Forest family, so he shouldn't show up when I'm looking for them. That one is kinda New Agey and hippie-esque, but not nearly as the first thing I said the first time I was here. And you are rude. Rude, rude, rude. I was talking to the nice ladies and gentlemen about making peace with the father spirit of the forest or whatever, and you come and barge your way into a fight. I can't even beast you with Trish because he's chilling back at the temple. I have to make do with nobody so we can get some levels for the upcoming boss. Oh, incidentally, I mentioned this a while back, but I think that Shab Liquor is, in part, made out of this guy, because he's a Mookshab. And he's also kind of out of his league. You cannot get a critical hit and do so little damage. I mean, you can see why I put so much effort into leveling up my guys, though, right? I mean, I'd sooner deal with this kind of back and forth than the other way around, where I can't really do anything. You know, I think he's got a critical attack on his tail. Like, it seems so unlikely he'd get 2 critical hits in a row like that, but if he's not going to do the attack anymore, I just can't tell for sure. In any case, I think I'm going to bring in Lionard and let him get some more experience. I know I said that it'd be nobody, but I'd sooner have a better balanced team than one single heavy hitter. I mean, what happens when he goes down, you know? Because it will happen. Nice. That was pretty good, considering this guy's general attitude towards nobody's attacks. So let's see how Lionard did, shall we? That's a pretty good result, given that we were fighting somebody weaker than us. Now, give me a moment. My team leader is currently looking a little peaky, so we'll be healing him up. Only a bit, though. I should make that back in the next fight. Oh, for crying out loud. What am I going to do with all these keys? Probably sell them for supplies? I'm going to keep them all, though. Because you just know that if I sold them all, I'd turn around and find a stack of treasure chests. Alright, let's do this. Oh. Well, this is new. Excuse the awkward pause just now. I wasn't expecting to show this fight. Well, yeah, nobody's got to be the leading man. I will never tire of constructing sentences like this when I play this game. I don't know what Terkambu can do, but I suspect he'll be a super fast magic user. Yeah, I have a power modifier. I should use that and hopefully take him out before he can do too much damage. And if that attack is any indicator, yes I can. Alright. Alright, we're doing well. Oh, I got this. Still in control. I suspect the green guy doesn't have any special attacks or magic up his sleeve, because that's usually the first thing that minions lead with, if they have it. But I'm going to catch him anyway, because he might have something about him that I can use. If nothing else, he'll make Trish look a bit better. The best I could do with her is to give her the Cyclops skin from those guys who kept using the stoning magic, so she doesn't look like an angry dinosaur anymore. She looks like a goofy armadillo. It's hard to look angry when you only have one eye, you know? Also, depth perception. Now, I'm going to have nobody take this guy, but I want to see if I can poison him first. Oh, and I can! See, I've been doing this with my minions in the first half of the forest while I was grinding off camera. It's nice to see a bigger emphasis on teamwork between me and my minions because of this sword. Yeah, I think nobody's up for this one. Anyone other than me at this point, because while my minions have taken a huge boost in their stats, I have not, so the enemies are taking more of a toll on me than they did before. It is possible to get more powerful armor than Ricketts' jacket. There's something with a camouflage pattern, there's a couple of blue ones, but I'm pretty sure they're all random drops in the post-game, so for now my stats are as high as they're getting. But that's okay, because this is a minion management game, not look at Andy do everything. Although with that said, you can just bet that if this game got more groundswell than it did, folks would be writing up Levant-only FAQs. Initial equip. Final destination. Although that said, I know I came into this with a dent in my health, but this guy has done more damage than I thought he would. You're gonna have to forgive me, I need to heal up after this fight as well. I don't much like pushing my minions to breaking point, especially not when I'm this close to the final boss. Especially not when I ascribe names to them to make them my little monster buddies. As you've seen though, nobody heals a pretty hefty amount after every fight, so I don't need to use too many items. Now forget you, fella. I'm going this way. The mechanic that heals minions after every fight makes a lot more sense with the added knowledge of the Moth Forest, where you have to do the whole thing without healing. Noob Wee. Really? That's the name you're going to go for with this one? Okay. But it does give me a chance to talk about one of the game's hidden minions. If you have a pocket station plugged into memory card slot 1, then the capture tutorial gives you a different monster. It's called the Vatolka, and it uses the same model as these guys, but a different skin. Vatolka has 2 eyes and tiger stripes. And there are 4 entries for Vatolka on the disc, 1 for each element, and the one the game gives you is different each time you begin a game. And I don't really need those guys. Like, if I can lay them out in one attack, they are not gonna do a lot to help me. Besides, more experience for nobody. See, that was a totally good reward for knocking out 2 guys in a single fight. Remember when Lionheart got like 2 levels for knocking out 2 guys? EXP in this game is weird and confusing. Anyway, we are here to talk to the forest spirit guy. So let's go ahead and fight ourselves a boss. Okay, so I'm going to cut to the fight right about now-ish, because I want to show off what happens when Lionheart beats 2 guys at once. I'm predicting hilarity. And cutting back to the fight also lets me show off that water magic. I love that spell! Okay, let's see how we did. That's crazy. I'll take it, though. We're all about on the same level now. And I'm going to give nobody a nip of moonshine, so we're all ready to go fight the boss. I expect he'll be doing the heavy lifting, so it's good to have him in shape. So what do you got, Hattie Man? Why hasn't the music changed? Have I missed something? I sure hope this isn't the game refusing to raise the flag because I didn't do everything in the light world. Or because the disc is scratched. We've had some fun issues with that during this recording. Or I have, at any rate. You haven't seen it because I cut all that stuff out. Okay, it's time for the old video game trick of unloading the game data, reloading it all, and hoping that everything fixed itself. And this fight seems like a good opportunity as any, because it lets me show off a new minion. Which is an old minion, except blue, but we're on episode 15 at this point. You can't be surprised by palette swapping. So the last time I did this fight, where I tagged in Lionel to finish off the minions, they were pretty heavy magic users, so hopefully this time we'll see some variety, and that is not good. I was kind of hoping this would be a quick fight, but not if you guys are going to dodge everything. I say everything, it was only one attack, now I'm doing just fine. But if you look at it statistically, they had 100% evasion rate, and that's pretty fearful. Also, did I manage to outrun the lower one, even after using a special attack? How on earth did I miss? Nice! And it's kind of a shame I don't have a significant amount of mana left, and I'm gonna have to beat on this guy on my own. But, if he's gonna keep using magic against me, I'll be alright. I am built to take it. Plus, I'm doing more damage to him than he is to me. Although I wonder if this guy can heal. I mean, it kind of makes sense that he would, because a lot of water minions can in this game, but he seems built for attack, not defense, so I should be alright. Yeah, especially if he's going to keep doing that. That said, I'm going to tag in bot, because I'm not doing very well with nobody. Thankfully, this also works out in my favour. As before, it's always good to get some levels on the weakest team member. I mean, that's why he's here. Since Bod's likely going to be weak against the upcoming boss, I want to get levels before I go and fight him. And this should do it. Tresban. You can tell that I've been spending time preparing for a primarily French-speaking country. Okay, so that should have reset the flags. Although, with that said, is there anything off to the right? Let's find out. It looks like no, there is not. So, yeah, let's go ahead and see if the dark guy is there. I'm hoping yes, but with this game, you never know. I'm actually going to say no, because the music hasn't changed. Well, I'm stumped. So, join me next time, once I work out what I'm meant to be doing. And until next time, goodbye!